Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Connie from The Painted Photographer, and we have a video for Sonnets Maker's Box for September. This box is packed with so many fall vibes. If that's what you got right now, you are gonna love this box. It just makes you feel fall, even though I love summer. I say, hold on fall, I still wanna do summer, but this will bring you into the fall vibes. I don't have to still feel the warm temperatures, but I can have the fall vibes. These are some quick thrift flips. That's hard to say. These are some quick thrift flip videos for you using Sonnets box. It pulls me out of my slump. Like every month, it just challenges me to pull different stuff out of my stash and find out what's going to work. And it usually works really well and gives me all kinds of ideas. I hope you'll follow me to the end and see what I'll create for you. For our first project using Sonnets Maker's Box for September, we're going to use this clipboard I've had in my stash for a long time. And I just wanted to make it over into a fall decor. It came with a hanger. It has the clip on it. We're going to use the Autumn Hearth Plaid from recycled Decoupage papers. This is a really, really pretty plaid, and I thought it went really well with pumpkin in fall views. So we're going to use the two together. I even used leaves in this painting on the rice paper, which I thought was pretty fun. We're going to start out using some white swan that is part of the paint in the DIY mixology kit that is available on my website for the month of the summer. And I ended up taking the clip off. I thought it was going to be much easier to decoupage paper over the top of it, or not over the top of it. So I took the clip off, and then we just went in with one solid coat of white swan. Now I cut the Autumn Hearth plaid in to make sure that it fit. With a plaid, you can line up your stripes to make sure that you're straight. After you mist your paper, you're going to have to stretch it a bit because it does open up the fibers and makes the paper just a little bit bigger. So make sure you stretch it out and get it covering the entire board. Now we're going to go in with DIY's liquid patina and put a coat of liquid patina onto the board. I am a heavy gel matte medium lover. Royce had taught this in one of her videos that she did, and I've been doing it ever since, and it works amazing. So I'm not going away from it. It is a heavy gel matte medium that actually makes your paper stick to your project just a little bit better than it would without it. I mix it with my liquid patina because it is very, very thick, and that thins it down just to the consistency that I need for putting decoupage paper or rice paper onto my projects. So we flip one side up and then we decoupage, and then we flip the other side up and then just smooth it out using the paintbrush to make sure we have all of our wrinkles out, and then put a coat of the DIY liquid patina over the top. Now we're going to take this fall views and we're going to cut out the pumpkin, and I do love that background. And so I decided that I was going to cut out this little pumpkin, but I was also going to use the larger pumpkin in this multiple sheet as the back for this project that we're doing. So I'm going to sand the edges of this clipboard, and using my finger sander, which I was hesitant to order one of these. Everybody's using them, but I finally broke down and ordered one during Prime Days, and oh my gosh, what was I waiting for? That thing is amazing. So here's the big one. We're going to decoupage it right onto the clipboard, making it look like it's attached to the clipboard, the clip on the clipboard. And then we're going to use that one pumpkin that I cut out and put him in the foreground of this other pumpkin. So I'm going to place him where I want him, and then I'm going to cut the edges off of the pumpkin and making him sit right in that corner.
Do you ever feel you don't get out what you're putting in? All your hopes and efforts are all in vain. Who will pick you up when you've lost everything? Does it all become for granted with a wedding ring? Oh, there must be more. There must be another way. There must be conscious, different things in different ways. There must be love. There must be a reason, and a little bit of faith has got to come my way. I was just a little girl when my mama used to say, ooh, happiness requires.
Now that everything has dried and we have that decoupage medium on the top of that paper, we're going to go in with DIY's weathered wood, and I'm going to do a shadow technique around the outside of this paper so that it looks like it's 3D versus just flat onto that plaid paper. So I'm using my paintbrush, some water, and weathered wood, and a little bit of my paper towel, and I am causing this to look like a little shadow around the entire board. And then we also are going around the smaller pumpkin too.
Oh, and if that someone makes you smile and leaves you with a scar, don't let them tell you what you feel or who you are. Oh, there must be more. There must be another way. There must be conscious, different things in different ways. There must be love. There must be a reason, and a little bit of faith has got to come my way. I gave it all to you for too There must be more. There must be another way. There must be conscious, different things in different ways. There must be more.
For our next project, I have this breadboard, and it was 97 cents. It's fairly large, which I wanted a fairly large surface for this next decoupage paper that was in Sonnets Maker's Box, and it's called Whispers of Fall. And I absolutely love the look of this paper, but I wanted to use where I could see those yellow trees, but also this looks like a house that's in the background or a barn or something. I'm not really sure what Royce had in her head as far as when this was created, but I do like those yellow trees, and I like those look of buildings in the background. So I went and cut out that piece, and I am going to again paint the back of this in the white swan that is available in the mixology kit, or it is available as a 8-ounce or 16 32-ounce paint on my website at thepaintedphotographer.com. I always paint my backgrounds in white to make the paper pop a little bit more. And there's that house barn figure right there. I'm going to make sure that I'm on the bottom 1/10 of the board. So this is part of my photography um, uh, composition, and we're going to make this landscape on this breadboard and turn this 97-cent breadboard into a work of art.
I wanna take you out, show you the time of your life. I wanna figure out what it takes to give you everything you desire. I wanna lay beneath the stars with you in the back of my truck. I guess that this is what they call love. Baby, you've been driving me crazy for so long now. I've been waiting on the sidelines, praying for the right time to let you know you're all I ever wanted and more. I wanna level out, order something and stay in. Put a record on, let's hide the phones and make believe the world don't exist. Let's pull up ties and take a trip to someplace new. I don't care where, as long as I have you. Baby, you've been driving me crazy.
Next up, we have this little stool. It's kind of like I thought of it as being a riser, and it was just plain wood. It was a few cents at the thrift store. We're going to use this mermaid tail from DIY, and we're going to paint the entire stool in mermaid tail. And what I found out is that wood tannins, for whatever reason, really bled into this mermaid tail. So what I ended up doing is, after I painted it the mermaid tail, I sprayed it with a clear sealer to capture in all of those wood tannins. You can see the wood tannins are just bleeding through. Then what really helped spraying that with a clear finish is I'm going to go in with DIY's Electrified, and we're going to go right over top of the mermaid tail. Now this was a little bright for me. This Electrified was a tad bright. So, and I also, when I looked at the paper, I thought the paper wasn't as um, vibrant of Electrified as what the actual out of the container is. So I put the Electrified onto the stool again for the second coat, but then I did something, it's going to seem strange, but I took Blood Moon, which is a purple color, and I went and mixed it in with the Electrified. So wet on wet. And what I'm doing is I'm just diluting the Electrified just a little bit, toning down that brightness using that Blood Moon purple. And it really toned that down and gave it kind of a vintagey look to it.
But I wouldn't change a thing unless you wanted me to. I'd do anything for you. Waking up next to you is all I
Now, after it was dry, I could go and wet distress back down to that mermaid tail, which, since that mermaid tail was sealed, it actually didn't affect the mermaid tail at all, and we did not go back down to the solid wood color. So I have the two colors popping through on this stool, and now we're going to finish the top using Moody Night, which is a single little crow sitting on top of a pumpkin. And he is got the electrified in the background. And for whatever reason, when I splattered my paper in the back, it looks like the little crow has an eyeball. That was not on purpose. That was a total mistake, but I liked it. So we're going to fit this on here using the liquid patina and the heavy matte gel medium and add it to the top of this stool and then sand it back.
Even if I try to leave, you still make me wanna stay. You ask me to believe in the words that you say, but I can't be strong if you can move on. Don't you think we've had enough of the trauma you bring? Ain't you tired of thinking we can get through anything? 'Cause I can't move on if you can't be strong. But every time I hear you say my name, it always feels the same. 'Cause I loved you for a lifetime. We can run through fire and rain, but it always feels the same. And I'm waiting for a lifetime. So you say you wanna change, but lately things have been the same. And it's my heart you're holding back again. And I can't be strong if you can't move on. Every time I hear you say my name.
We have a sign frame that was in my stash for a really, really long time. I thought it had good bones. I wasn't real thrilled with the image that was in there, and Sonnet had sent this napkin, which was gorgeous, and it matched this Renfrew blue from Fusion perfectly. So I went ahead and I painted the frame in the Renfrew blue, and then I gave that 2 coats and let that dry. This is a one-step paint, so that is all I needed to do with that. That frame was completely finished, and I could move on to the decoupage part. So we have, this is just a piece of paper, cardboard paper. We're going to separate the napkin, and we're going to decoupage right onto the cardboard. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but if it doesn't, then I guess I go to plan B. But it fits 1 square of that napkin, which was the perfect size I was looking for. And I cut that out, and then we're going to decoupage it right onto the cardboard. I'm only using the liquid patina this time because the napkin is so thin that it is only going to need the liquid patina. It does not need the heavy gel matte medium for this project. And the cardboard did curl a little bit, but after it was dry, I flattened it out and it worked perfectly. So now we know you can decoupage a napkin right onto a piece of thin cardboard. All of these fall projects have been a little on the simple side, and I really like that. And the fall decor is just screaming right out of here. So I have these two old thrifted frames with some oil paintings in them. I have this white cloth edging on both frames. I covered it up using DIY's Dark and Decrepit. And this is a sealer that is a stain as well. We're going to just give this one coat and then let it thoroughly dry. And that darkened it right up because when we're going to go and put our milk paint on in curry, milk paint is powder and then water. It is 50-50 mixture. It is easier if you put the water in first and then put the powdered paint in. It mixes up so much better. Trust me on this. I used to do it the opposite way, but I really enjoy doing it this way with the water in first. No more clumping on the bottom. And you make sure that you give it a stir, let it sit for 10 minutes, and then I go back in and I go right over top of the entire picture frame. And for this yellow color, I did end up using 2.5 coats. So 2 coats for most of it, and then some of it just needed a little more over the top. So 2.5 coats on both of these frames. The chipping that happened with these frames was really good on a couple of the different sides. I just went in with a paint scraper and just gently peeled off some of that paint and got that chippy looking frame to come back through. Some of the sides were a little on the stubborn side, so I used my finger sander and gently coaxed it to chip a little bit, which is another way that you can get the milk paint to chip off, is to force it with a sander. So both of them turned out really, really good. Now we're going to oil wax. This is the dark oil wax. And so I'm putting that into a separate container and just brushing it onto the frame. Let it sit for 10 minutes and then wipe it off. I absolutely love getting Sonnets Maker's Box because I can try out all these colors. I don't know that I would have tried to use curry. I do like yellow. It's just not my go-to color. So I do enjoy getting out some of these colors that Sonnet sends in her box and using them. So if you don't get Sonnet's Maker's Box, you really should. And if you haven't ever tried curry, now's your chance. It is a beautiful fall color for any project.
We can run through fire and rain, but it always feels the same. 'Cause I've loved you for a lifetime. When I hear you say my name, it always feels the same. 'Cause I've loved you for a lifetime.
Here we are. We're gonna get some good stuff. It's growing in this tree and it's viney and it's gonna work perfect for the plan I got. See it? It's viney and it has berries. It won't last forever, but that's okay. We need some of it.
I go straight from the bank, gassing up the tank, cranking up the radio, playing old Hank. It ain't that long till I'm back at the pond. I'm pulling up the truck down at the dock. It's time to do some cruising, baby, get a little stuck. It's a Saturday joyride, Percy Priest is the spot. We're on a boat, we're feeling fine. Drinking Tennessee whiskey, a big blue sky. We're
Now we're over here. We're gonna get some of these. It's a hydrangea bush, but it's not like the real hydrangea bushes. These dry really good.
We're coming down. Here's the feeling alright. It's a hell of a time. Yeah, we're chilling out here. Ladies in the rear, her feet in the water. Top disappears, drinking Malibu Patron or a beer in a cup.
We're gonna take that greenery that I had found outside, and I felt like a forager and going and finding these different mediums that would look good. So this project, I don't know how it's gonna look um, in a day, in a week, in a month, but yeah, I'm willing to try it. It's a picture frame, and I didn't like the artwork that was in this one, so I decided to do something else to it. Instead of just having a plain frame, which you can do that after you're all done with this foliage, you can take it off and you're just going to have that curry mustardy yellow picture frame. So I wrap and this is giving me a little bit of trouble here, but just bear with it. You'll get it. And then I just went around with that spool of wire connecting this vine, this twiny vine, to the frame. And what I think I'll have in the future is just like a grapeviney look. And this is a wild birdberry vine. I don't know what it is. It's a pain when it grows in the trees. And we're working on getting all of that out of there. But you never know, I might want to do a project with it again. And so we go and we wind this all around. And what I think is going to happen when it dries is some of that is going to look really brown and rusty looking. And that is part of the fall vibe. Along with those little berries, they should dry up and just hang on there. And if not, it's okay. We'll figure something else out. But we're going to start with this vine.
Country girl romancing a whole lot of love, bumping out of the bar. Yeah, we're on a boat, we're feeling fine, drinking Tennessee whiskey, a big blue sky. We're going up, we're coming down. Here's the feeling alright. It's a hell of a time. We're on a boat, we're killing time in our own honky tonk. Meet the big blue sky, we live it up, we got it down. Here's the feeling alright. It's a hell of a time. I'm falling for a small town girl. So kiss me, darling. Rock my world. Rock my world. Rock my world. Yeah, now it's a hell. We're on a boat. We're feeling fine. Drinking Tennessee whiskey.
Next, I have these hydrangeas. You want to get all of the green leaves off your hydrangeas because the green leaves will just wilt and not look good. But the hydrangea flowers will stay exactly the way that they look. They will dry exactly like this, which is part of the whole frame. So now we're going to, when it dries thoroughly, we're going to end up with a viney, grapeviney look with some pink hydrangeas tucked in.
Wouldn't lie to you, doesn't matter what I do. She's got a hold on me. She knows how to drive a truck, but she lets me pick her up when we're going dancing. My heart starts beating when my headlights shining on her. She's my country girl. I couldn't tell you what she's doing with me. She's so damn out of my league. She's a little bit crazy on the weekends, dancing in her red dress, and I love the way she looks in can let her hair down, but got her feet on the ground. I can't get enough of her. She can drive me so wild, just with that sweet smile, and there's nobody else for me. My heart starts racing every time I'm looking at her. She's my country girl. I couldn't tell you what she's doing to me. She's so damn out of my league. She's a little bit crazy on the weekends, dancing in her red dress, and I love the way she looks in my eyes. And I'm feeling like midnight's getting closer.
How was that? What was your favorite? This was mine. Simple, easy. You can either hang it or just set it as a display, or you can put something in there. You can put another picture in there. Let's try that. This is me on my first communion with my grandma and grandpa. So look at those tall white boots. Yep, them are go-go boots. Wasn't I stylish? But that's me with my grandma and grandpa. So you can either have it with a picture. If you don't want to cover up the pumpkin, you can put it off to the side like that. This will be listed on my website along with some of the other projects that I did in here today. So I hope that you have enjoyed this video. If you need any of the DIY paint or milk paint or the Connie Lines and Designs rice paper or recycled decoupage papers, they're available on my website at thepaintedphotographer.com. Thanks for joining me, and until next time, happy painting.
Wouldn't lie to you, doesn't matter what I do. She's got a hold on me.